Hello. Uh, yeah, I will start my class talking about this circular economy students with food waste and manures. Manures like chicken manures, swine manures, and cow dungs, and possibly human manures. Yeah, also. And then I have the project of the studies doing this kind of things. The called Yamadai Black Soldier Fly project. And Black Soldier Fly in Japanese. Well, it's a Mizuabu, so we call this project often Yamadai Mizuabu project. And then name after the flatteries, Yamadai flattery. So Yamadai Mizuabu flattery, we often say that. And my study topic basically ecology of the insect, applied ecology, but recently this one insect-based resource circulation science. And then I am Satoru Sato. Okay, we start the class, please. So this is garbage problems and sustainable societies in the world. And then this one first, yeah, let us begin with the waste problems. Well, as you see there, the amount of the waste produced worldwide is already quite enormous, very enormous anywhere in this world. And then it is expected to increase faster and faster in the future. So food waste also causes many environment factors, problems. Very much in Japan, for example, we have large amount of the waste is increased. Well, I mean, mainly we do that burning or incineration or burning, yeah, like that. And this process releases this kind of carbon dioxide or greenhouse gases, yeah. And then you see this is a well, I mean number two picture is a pretty interesting one. The Gulbage Mountains. Yeah, this one, yeah. Gulbage Mountain in Indonesia. But in Indonesia, but not nowadays, but a few years ago, we tend to have that kind of mountains of the Gulbage, including everything, every kind of waste, like food waste also. So and I think up to 150, like that is so higher. And then near this, we have some villages and people walking in these mountains. Not only one, but several mountains in the regions. Yeah, and then also close to the big city. Like I think this one is a Grubage Mountain in Jogjakarta. It's a special prefecture or the cities in the central Jawas, Indonesia. Yeah, and this is a cows and that kind of animal stock, livestock it's a basically private properties, I think. And then they come to the mountains of this one regularly and feed on the food waste inside it. And like plastic, many things in there, plastic are recycled pretty well by the scavengers and the people who do that is called scavengers. Those people collected that valuable waste like good plastic, for examples, and then make it recycling. Yeah? So in fact, it makes many things. However, recycling is pretty good. But in Japan, we have many things also, but we just burn it. So make it disappear quick is quite good. But we still have that kind of emission of the gas. Well, but in this kind of mountain, what do you think about the gas emissions? Greenhouse? Do you have any ideas? Well, in terms of the CO2, it's a pretty limited. That methane, for example, is pretty bad because in that condition, food waste release methane is also global warming affecting that. And also that possibly cause the fires. And then there's a quite high, up to 150s. And then scavenger people working every day, 24 hours. So that causes some fatal problem for them occasionally. And then now the government there decided to remove it. And then now I think the number of that kind of mountain is now decreasing. And city like Jogja and probably in Jakarta too. Yeah. And this is function of the ecosystems. You see that it's a corpse of what? Do you know the corpse? You know it, yeah? This is the corpse of frogs, and that will be disappearing in a few days by those insects. Well, I mean, after any of them arrive, I mean, the speed of the gathering of those insects is boosted up, and then this kind of waste, and not the waste, but organic residue or the matters, yeah, will disappear in days. Without this system or the function of those insects, I mean, they will stay here longer and possibly accumulated. But in fact, they disappear quick and used for anything, and then move it to the circulation of the ecosystems. And this is also in a village like Kampunaga, for example, it's a traditional communities, yeah, and they use organic matters within local circular system very much, and that works very good. Well, this is the shed, but next to this one, because I took these pictures, and then often we members of the Love Luckily visited that village for studying circular system of the village in Indonesia, and they have the public bath somewhere around there. Underneath of that, there is a pond with plenty of the fish, and the toilet. People use it for, and then droppings is eaten by the fish. And then, in fact, in this village, there's no food waste. Everything, organic matter is circulated, used for anything. So there's no waste of the food. Like this one is the same. So if the thing is just moving like that in the circulation system, it's so good, clean, no waste. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah? And this one is a composting in some island in Okinawa Prefecture, Japan. Yeah, this kind of ordinary composting can create some other troubles. Yeah, when food waste is concentrated very much in these containers. Yeah, it's quite big actually. It's just 3 meters roughly, and then most of the produce is kept in that ground. So the shape is like that. Yeah, like that. No? And this is a hatch, and the people open it and discard waste of the house. Only food waste, not paper or plastic rubbish. They actually do that very well, but they didn't like this one. They don't like that one because of this is source of the insect occurring very much. If you see the insect like that, many maggots, and they don't like that, and also causing outdoors like that kind of discomfort and the hygiene and concerns passively. So the important question in this one, yeah, how can we use the power of the insect? Because insect left that kind of organic waste, yeah, not burning. Then we can have no burning anymore. Maybe if the insect we can use it their power very efficiently if we can control them. Yeah, this one. This is composting. So this photograph was taken in some remote island in Okinawa. Yeah, and then this green continent or the structures is a composting unit. From this distance, it looks like simple and clean. Yeah, looks okay. Yeah, but organic waste is placed inside and allowed to decompose gradually, and every days. And by the way, this links to the soils. Yeah, so there'll be some decomposing insect or animals. Yeah, it's also. And also after decomposted, those food waste is used in nature's plants, and also it's a part of the circulation of the ecosystem in this place. Yeah, and then we can see get closer. This is the videos. Yeah, so let's see these videos.
臭い。で、かつ、ハエが飛んでて、西表の、さっきの
Now we are
上
getting
原のハエ
closer.
と似たやつ、違うのもいる。
Now I say
で、
that fly
こ
is
の
a
容
fly.
器の 周辺はびっしり
Now you see it. You get closer now and then see that white things, many covering the composters, all eggs of the flies, housefly and that kind of sort. All eggs is covering like that. What do you think? You like it? Wow, I don't like it, and people didn't like that in that region, in the village. And then we get more closer and then open
小
it.
さい卵がある。じゃあ、now アンドレがオープンします。じゃ
My
あちょっと
friend,
ね。
it's now open it. You
はい。
see it. All those are what? All those are what? As maggots of the flies, yeah? Maggot of the flies. By the way, the date I took this video was the end of the March. End of the March, even in Okinawa, it's not the summer peak. It's not the summer, it's a spring, yeah. And then peak abundance of those insects is the summers. And if you go there in the summertime, people say that I didn't go there summertime because it's too hot for me. But anyway, in the spring, even in the spring, such many markets is coming. But people told me that it is like waterfall of the Niagara's big fall, famous in North America, yeah, Niagara's, yeah. So I mean, Margot just yeah appeared like that. Too many Margot in the summer times, and
いや、ストップ、ストップ。す
uh,
ごいハエがほら、
if you see
幼
the
虫が渦が
adults
湧
of
い
the
て
flies
て、
coming, and quite big,
BSF じゃない。
very big
OK?
ones, yeah.
本当ね。
Yeah, like that.
う
Yeah.
ん。
So this is spring times, yeah. And then also in the rainy seasons, yeah. In the summertime, rainy seasons. I mean that rain, waters go in there, and that ways in getting up higher with the insect markers. And then you see that
BSF いない。
we have
じゃ
many
あ、おお、
larvae,
すげえ、
adults,
すげえ大
and those are eggs of the cluster of the flies. So all developmental stages, like eggs, small larvae, young larvae, and the larger larvae, older larvae, and the pupa. Well, in this video, I didn't show it, but pupils, of course, and adults, all those developmental stages of the flies, and not only one fly, but variety of the species. Yeah, it's all gatherings at the same time and occurred. So you see that what we can see here is that insects were already doing pretty much decomposing works. Yeah, in there, they are quite good decomposing food waste. And also the insects themselves were not necessarily the main problems, yeah. What people dislike it have the main real problem was that the process was not properly controlled. So if you can control this one, of course that would be more efficient and nice. And I hope that is working in society with no much trouble, I guess. That what is important is control, control, control. Yeah? I say this again, control, control, control. And then to control the insect occurrence is pretty marginal. This is what we do study very much, please. Right. So we go to the next slide.
と、
It is. It's me. Finally, you can see who is me. No, I am this one. This is me. And this is my partners or the counterpart after studies. Yeah, Margaret, Mr. Margaret of the Black Soldier Flies. No? So we have exclusive contract, no, with those Margaret, Mr. Margaret. Yeah. So or Miss Margaret, I don't know because the 50-50% sex ratio, I guess. Yeah. So Miss or Mr. Margaret. Well, I mean, I decided to make that exclusive contract with these insects anyway. And their job is quite simple: do not harm and eat well. I mean, do not harm humans and then eat well, good ways. And then my job is quite also simple: give them as much suitable food waste, good food waste they can eat. Yeah, because they don't like some food waste. So I can provide only pretty good ones, yeah, in a good condition. So this idea became that starting point of our studies. Now you see it. Why I like or I'm studying that Margot flies. Right. This is a dog, yeah. Species name is Hermetia illucens, and the English name black soldier fly, and usually people call them BSF and then BSF. Yeah, you can call again BSF. BSF, yeah. And adult fly does not sting people, so you can touch it like that. There's no problems, it's no dirty. It's so clean insect anyways, yeah. And then larvae at the main stage, not adults. So we use larvae for the processing food waste, and then manures, and then other organic residues. So adults is a short lived, it's like 1 or 2 weeks in the maximums. And they do not feed anything really, but they just drain the water or possibly nectars, yeah, of the flowers. That so they just live for ovulation and matings, yeah, mating and ovulations. Anyway, this is anyway. You can see it in the summertime anyways, yeah, around the university field, of course. Right. See this one, yeah. I take some time for this one. Lastly, you please take that, try to understand yourself. Yeah. So this slide summarizes the ecology and the safety of the black soldier fly or the BSF. Yeah? So first, the larvae, yeah, relatively consume food residue and then grow very, very quickly. That would be just like 1 to 2 weeks, yeah, to complete their larva stage. And then what they eat is converted into two useful products is the biomass, which contain protein and lipid, yeah? And then also the flask. And flask can be used for the fertilizers use. And then also the third, the main goals of the adults are mating and egg laying. I say this again, please. This is also important. Yeah? So the reason why this is called this is sold their adult is relatively clean compared with other fly because other fly like house waste house flies touch the food waste or the organic matters, dead corpse and feces of animals very often, yeah, and then lay eggs on that. But these black soldier flies always need some distance to lay eggs, and they do not touch often the waste directly. So this is why any pathogens like that is not on the bodies of the PSF. So this is why we think that is a pretty, well, I mean, safe for the humans, like this one, yeah. So yeah, this one. So I can say that with a proper management, black soldier fly can be handled relatively okay, safely. This combination of the strong waste processing abilities, very strong. They eat very much. One individual, 1 gram, like that. And then we can have tons of that, very high densities. And they can finish the waste so quick. And then also high safeties. So very efficient for the processing and also very safe. That combination is so good for or the as the main reason we selected this insect. Not only me, but many scientists actually study this one. Not only scientists, but the people, anyone. Many people I know that in this world studying this one, this insect, right? So the next slide, yeah. And then I tell you that, finally, what is Yamadai Mizabu, please? Any of you know this Yamadai Mizabu? If you know that, please throw your hands up. Well, I just can't imagine that you're because this is the videos, yeah. So I don't see it, but I can imagine you're hands up. Right, it's good, very good. So what is Yamadai Mizabu? You know it, yeah. Well, I mean, anyway, that black soldier flies, and you can find that flies in a university campus. Wow, in fact, that one was found in that chicken manure site. This is a chicken manures of animal husbandry laboratory. Yeah, in there are black soldier fly, and then Indonesian student 5 years ago found that, and then we collected them and confirmed they did not stink people, and then their larvae could eat both food waste and manures, and we know that. And then we tried to raise them using food waste from the university convenience stores and then establish a large breeding colony in the laboratories. And that caused big troubles again and again, over and over again for the long histories. Yeah. So during that 5 years, we've been studying this more than 5 years. Yeah. We had many troubles and problems, but try to improve it, improve it, improve it. Now our system is so sophisticated and so good. Yeah. So we have no trouble now. We keep processing the university food waste 100%. Yeah, this is amazing actually. Before that, no, university food waste is just discarded to the city collections of garbage, yeah, and then burned. It's burned 100%. However, after we start this, no waste is burned. From that, Cope University stopped. Yeah. So I can say that since the system was established, that was year 2021, 100% of the food residue from the university co-op shop have been recovered as a resources. Yeah. So this Yamadai Zabu colony has become the foundation of our research. Yeah. And education and also social activities. Everything's being many things. I was so surprised how much people, I mean, big demand for this kind of studies, even in this region among others. But that would be the same for anywhere, yeah, anywhere in the world. Your country also, if you come from somewhere other countries than other than Japan, that would be the same, I think. Right. Mm. So, right, we go to the next page. So, why food waste? Why insect? I can explain that a bit more in the following slides, please. Yeah. Well, anyway, in this part, I will move from the basic biology of the black soldier fly to its practical use, please. Why do we focus on the food waste, and then why do we use insects, please? Yeah. And then I will introduce our collection system, and then actual processing trials, and then development of the safe processing containers, like that. Okay, so we go right. This is university convenience store. Based on that date, 29 March 2024 is a pretty much on that date. But basically not much. And then if you see the average, I think one third of that one, yeah. So on that base, very end of the financial years, yeah, we had very much waste from the co-op shop on the day. Anyway, this is a quite similar situation, and then our university co-op shop is a quite smaller compared with other usual average size of convenience store outside universities. So, but the average about 10 kilo, 20, that kind of location, that, this is the average. It's that like that, of the convenience store waste every days. Yeah. Anyway, this photos was taken on that days is not this year's, but pretty 2 years ago. Yeah. Uh, well, you see the variety of the waste. That waste contains many different foods and drinks, or even snacks sometimes, and sweet, together with plastic and other packaging materials. Yeah. So we collect this kind of things every day from the shop, and then before we start giving this food waste to the lobby of the breakfast bank, we must carefully we separate the old materials from the plastic, papers, bottles, and other packaging, and we then weigh and record each fraction. In this example, we obtained about 7.4 kilograms, 7.4, this much, 7.4 of a food material and 0.45 kilograms of the packaging like that. So this is separated, and that one was brought to the university garbage stations regularly, right? And then you see that how much our team is multinational, but mainly Indonesian people are pretty many because I'm back in Indonesia for my studies, and quite often I went to the Indonesia, have many network and friends and many people. So that's why the student also I try to invite many from the Indonesia, but I started as student from Vietnam nowadays and possibly from other country students. But anyway, this is the key of the Yamada Museum systems. Is operated by those people, yeah, it's the team members. In Japanese, only one Japanese in the pictures. In our lab, number of the domestic students like him is quite limited. Anyway, Japanese and international students work together. Everything is mixed like that in the laboratory. And then we collected the residues, remove the packaging, papers, and also preparation for the food to feed larvae and record the result. And this work is therefore not only waste treatment, but also it is kind of practical education for us, our side, and the international collaboration. Because we do this in Indonesia also. We have the quite similar system, and then people going to the Indonesia and coming to Japan. That circulation is not only for the waste, but also the human circulating in this laboratory very much regularly every year. Yeah. Well, anyway, this is the key. Check this slide, please. Check this slide, please. Yeah, take a few minutes, please. Oh, okay. Check this, yeah. Yeah. Well, as you know that this graph shows the amount of the organic residues we collected each fiscal years, yeah. And then materials are divided into university co-op residues and pig manures and other organic residues, yeah. And others, we have many, yeah, many kinds, very much. Anyway, the annual amount has Very, very much better. The scale of their activity has generally, well, you see the generally, yeah, like this is increasing. But this financial year is the data come from only a few months, yeah, so that will be increasing again like that, hopefully. But anyway, general pattern is increasing. The fiscal years 2025, 2025, this one, yeah, the totals reached almost 4,000 kilograms. The figures for fiscal year 2026, well, as I said, already, it's already a few months, but already 1 tons, roughly. Well, I mean, we do this food processing by the lobby BSF in one pretty small shelf. The height is 180s and the width it be 120 like that, small space, but we can make it. At the university, you want to see it? Yeah, if you want to see it, but not always, but we sometimes open it. Quite sometimes it's restricted nowadays, yeah. But anyways, if you have any question, request for your studies, all time. I mean, every time. I mean, all the day, all years. No, we open it. But just ask me first, please. Yeah. Well, anyway, this is that. Wait. So, and this one's is a chemical radio phase received by the source. Yeah. You can see variety of the source after waste, and then inversion column storage the match is the best storage for us. More than 2 tons. Yeah. Well, anyway, this graph shows that cumulative amount received between June 2021 and June 2026. The total was 12,740.3 kilograms. Yeah, and the largest source was the University of Stores. Yeah, the largest one is that. And the second largest, you see that is the Shawnite Hospital close to the university. You see that hospital, big one, yeah, near the university. We collected the veggie waste mainly every 2 or 3 days. No, frequency is now increasing. Every week 4 times. Yeah, reflected by the members. Thank you very much for the members for the activities. Anyway, and the other sources including household is also interesting. Household. Yeah, this has come from the house. University staff and students. Some of them, not all of them, but there are some staff who then load or bring regularly the house waste to the university to our laboratories, yeah? Nearly 1 ton now. And then about 10% of that, in terms of the weight, is converted to the rice and then given that back, reward as a reward every year, yeah? And then rice is a quite special and tastes so good, and then brown rice and no chemicals used during that cultivation period. And then taste scores is so higher, yeah. If you know the taste scores, well, it's quite high. Well, I mean, I don't know more about it, but we check it regularly, yeah. The score tastes so good. So if you want to have that special rice, please, if you donate some house waste to the university, our laboratory, this project, you can have reward, hopefully, yeah. And then now other sources, like hotels, it's a route in hotels in near the railway stations and the coffee shop, sometimes Starbucks and also others. Other Coffee Island is the name of the shop in Kopia, supermarket Kopias, yeah. There is a coffee shop and we collected many from that shop. And also the pig manures. I guess if you are not Islamic people, you like pork meat, yeah, to eat, to produce pork meat. Well, you have to know that tons of the manures, feces, swine manures, yeah, it's a big troubles actually, and then for the farmers, yeah, and then we collected some and used for upcycling using BSF, like mushroom residues. It's also plenty, yeah. Every day, some small, well, not quite small, but some companies in these regions discard, I think, 400 kilograms fresh mushrooms. Yeah. Well, not only that bird, but some other bird of the mushroom is discarded every day, 400 kilograms like that. We collected some for the studies. Well, I mean, this diversity is important, I think, very much. If you choose something easier ways, it's not good for the studies. No, we collected variety, very diverse food waste because of our systems. Yeah, it's designed to use many kinds of the local organic resources, including feces, manures. Yeah, like that. Well, this is just examples. University store waste. Huh? You like that? What is that? It's a cake, and also the saladas and lunch bags and rice bowls and also milk. Yeah, and this is a waste. This is a waste. Then we process this. Yeah, but before that, I check the weight to unwrap it, and then inside is this more than 1 kilos. Yeah, just roughly one kilos, very fresh. And then I show you some videos. Yeah, please. Right, 1 kilo, 1,000. Yeah, BSF larvae. And then 1 week videos, 2 days, is shortened to I think 30 or 40 seconds. Yeah, this is videos for 1 week. Yeah, you see it in the night time, the color changes. So now you see that in the night time, they still keep working very actively, no taking the rest or the sleeping. Yeah? And that's the larvae is quite bigger now, only 1 week. This is larvae, yeah, getting larger. And that per this old feces of the BSF, yeah, we call it flash, that feces. So old food waste already has disappeared, eaten, consumed perfectly, yeah. So I showed it again, all right? So check what waste, what type of the food is disappeared, consumed first, quick, all right? Check that. Oh, the fish, salmon, paste disappeared now. Now getting into small pieces and meatballs now. It's attacked and disappears, yeah. You see the size of the larvae is getting larger day by day. You know that. And almost all finished now. And then, they again eat, consume their feces, their own feces again, over and again. And then they get larger and larger. As larger is the process now. All right? You understand this, yeah? So that they get larger, yeah? And then, please. Okay, we go to, all right? Hmm. All right, so we go to the next slide. How can I go to the next slide? All right, so just after 2 weeks. Yeah, after 2 weeks. You see it? And most of some original food structures has disappeared as you see it. The remaining material has become much darker and more granulars. Yeah? At the same time, the larvae have grown substantially. Wow, no larvae here, but in the next picture, you see the larvae. By the way, not smelly, but a bit oily because convenience store branch contains oilies, many oils, and then it's not being digested very much. So the BSF is okay with the oil, but they do not digest that very much. So the flask is a bit oily like that. But you see that basically flask is really like sand, very dried. But anyway, you see this. You see that? No, in this examples, yeah, 1 kilograms of the food waste produced approximately 200 grams of the larvae. It was about 20 grams, so 10 times larger, yeah. Uh, and then 100 grams of the flesh after 2 weeks. The larvae biomass is rich in crude proteins and then also the lipid. It may therefore be used as an insect resource, including a possible feed ingredient. Roughly half of that is a protein and lipid. Yeah? And then 100 grams. Wow, I mean, in total, 1 kilograms waste was reduced to 300 grams organic matters, including the larvae, 200 grams, 100-gram flash. And that 100-gram flash is quite good as a fertilizers and enhancing biodiversity actually. Yeah? Buying 2 eggs, and then you have a 200 grams raw vegetable. Half of that protein or lipid, which is quite good resources, valuable. Yeah. So this is quite easy, isn't it? And then quick. In 2 eggs, you can have that resources and then waste all 100% converted to that resources. Ah, so good. And this is pig manures in the farms, not university farms, but some farms in this region. This is the pictures of that. Some space for the swine manures is kept for a bit for some times. I mean, because it's too wet. I think the moisture content is just like 90%. It's like that. So it's too heavier, yeah, to bring to somewhere, yeah. So this is where they do some evaporating water to decrease the weight of the flesh weight of the swine manures. Yeah. So the food waste is not only our target. We also study livestock manures like this one, yeah, especially pig manure, but chicken manure also, yeah, and also the cow dungs too. And the pig manure is one of the most difficult. It's quite difficult actually, organ residues to the handles, yeah, because it's a smelly, very strong smells a high water content. I said that about 90%, and then difficult physical textures. It's like porridge, yeah. And then so we therefore the test whether black soldier fly larvae can process and convert this. It's a challenging actually, and then yeah, you see it. It's a quite challenging. Yeah, this is very interesting. Try to understand this one. I give you a time a bit. So, one on your flesh in the bottles, yeah, in the 50 grams, for example, yeah. So if you use 50 grams of the fresh swine manures, and the water content is about 90%, yeah, and then we put 500 grams. No, no, I'm sorry, 500 individual larvae, yeah, 500 individual larvae, and this is a result. So originally it was like that at the beginning. So after the process, this is the flash of the larvae, residues of the process, including feces, molting feces of, feces of the BSF larvae, and molting skins, and so on. It's the residues, and the moisture content is just like 10 to 20. So it's like just dried rubbish, yeah, very lightweight, 10 grams. Yep. So this is 10 grams, yeah. That would be the 50 gram because it's so wet. This is so dried, 10 grams, yeah. And also this one's, yeah, 25 grams of the BSF larvae after growing. Well, initially it was sick, and then in total, in the end, it was 31 grams larvae. So only after removing that 6 grams of the larvae at the start, yeah. And then I keep here only 25 grams. So purely grown from that waste. And they converted the biomass, that one to this one, yeah? It's amazing, isn't it? So in total, 10 grams plus what can be used for agriculture use, and then 25 grams. And then half of that resources, you remember that? Proteins and lipid, yeah? So just like half is quite good resources. And then in total 35 at the end, yeah? So 15 grams of where? I mean, many of them just evaporating waters like that. But no, it's amazing. I mean, to try this fast, we need heat. But BSF without heat addition to just do that. How long? Think about that. How long does it take? 2 weeks? You think so? How long does it take? 2 weeks? No, it can be shorter. Yeah. 1 week? What do you think? 1 week enough short, isn't it? All right. So answer is not 1 week, but 4 days. Yeah, only 4 days. You can make it that changes so big, right? So this is why I really love them. Even that awful waste is so smelly that they can make it changes like that, so big changes from this one to that. But in fact, this caused big troubles. Yeah, farmers really in trouble because of this one. Yeah. And then if farmers keeping having that troubles, and then if the problem of troubles getting larger, bigger, or serious, they know they have to limit the production of the swine farming, pork, meat productions. Yeah. So if you really like Daniel's pork meat, please think about this. This is how much good for us. I was going to say that 4 days, but it can be 2 days, yeah? That depends on the number of the lobby you use. If you use more, that can be shorter, yeah? But anyway, this is that. So anyway, the trials like this help us examine processing times, global densities, and the balance between input and output, yeah? So we do this kind of study very much with the variety of the waste. You see that, and this is where in the university faculties, yeah, where we have the animals, yeah, and the laboratory actuaries is quite closed, yeah, very secret place. Yeah. Well, anyway, however, separate problems appeared when we increased the scales. Yeah, always, if you have that small portion, that's okay. If you have the trouble, but the trouble or the problem is the smaller also, yeah. And if you, but you see that waste is quite mad. You have to scale up your systems, yeah, and then that'll be quite difficult actually. Yeah? The lobby, yeah, this lobby. This is more good. Quite often, quite often, flowed up the wall and processing containers. Now this is a processing container. They escape from that, and then we keep it in so high densities, yeah. like millions we have it in a continent, and then we therefore, I mean, and they get they go to the ceilings like that, and we tend to have that kind of troubles very often at the beginning, yeah. But now it's okay. After 5 years of the improvement, our system is so good now. Well, anyway, because of the accidents, we therefore developed safer, yeah, safer processing containers. We have some container very special that prevents larvae from escaping anyways. We also developed an operating system suitable for the small rooms. These are quite small rooms, yeah, measuring only 3.2 by 3.2 meters. I mean, so small. You know? The size of the room is quite small and closed. The ultimate aim is a system that can be even used in an ordinary company office like that is our aim. Our system is so good now. Good. Well, yeah, check this one. This is a kind of operation that's possible only because the blood soldier flight can be managed very safely. Yeah, and I also test the system of my own properties. Yeah, you know what I mean. My own properties. Yeah, blood soldier flight were collected at the house, my house, and then approximately 5,000 larvae were used to process the organic residues generated at my home during August. Yeah, yeah, my own properties. Yeah, please. Organic residues of maize. Yeah, during August. I do this every year, August. Yeah, and I have continued these trials. Yeah, so nearly 2 years now I'm doing it. But this summer, I'm not sure if I do this or not. Yeah, because my family doesn't like this much. Anyway, wow, don't worry no more. The pictures, I have edited a bit like that. So if you don't like that, it's okay. But this is quite important also. You know that in the African countries, yeah, we don't have any facility for processing the human feces efficiently, yeah. So this is why people just keep their own feces somewhere, yeah, in the natures. But if the process is not clean, that is causing another trouble. Yeah? And also, if you are kept in a closed environment like spaceship, for example, and if you use that BSF techniques, you can process your own residues, yeah, pieces to make resources, yeah, and this works, very work. I mean, very good if the system is very safe. If you know that if all larvae escape from the continent, it's quite awful, isn't it? But our system is so good. You can do this at home using your feces, your own feces, yeah. And then you can make your resources. If you want to have it, if you want to use it, I mean, if you want to try this one, just tell me anytime. I need some examples more. Well, anyways, we go to the next. All right. Good. Right. Yeah. This is a house house waste of my house. House waste. Yeah. Of the days. 1 day. I had the house waste like that. But those I collected from that refrigerator's fridge. And also that ones, yeah. And I drink coffees regularly. So this is the filter of the coffees. So everything, just packed in there, yeah. And the water content is pretty highest. I think around 80, yeah. So this house waste, uh, yeah, could be like this, could be like this. And after the process, in 2 weeks, this is a flash of the BSF. Plus, include skiing, molting skiing of the BSF like that, and also the residues, which is not consumed or decomposed by the BSF, but mainly after decompositions by the BSF larvae. You see those particles, yeah, is the size of their digestion systems. So each of that is a feces of the excrete at BSF larvae. It's like sand and dried like that naturally during the process. And this is the larvae after grown. Well, there are 6 instances of the larvae, yeah. And then in the end, and that black one, I mean not black but dark colors, is the very end of the larvae period, like 5 insters. And then 6 insters also is a quite dark. So you see some variation. This means that there are variation in the instance or the age of the larvae and also the molting skin. You can separate this and flash very easy if the flash condition is enough okay for the sheathings. And those are the things they could not consume well, like bones. This is the chicken bones and also the skin, very outer layer of the apples, very hard skins, but very thin. And also, this is the filter paper of the coffees, and this is, I think that soup packs and then papers or that kind of things. So the cellulose and the bones and that kind of thing is not eaten very well by the BSF larvae. Yeah? So food waste and livestock manures like those is quite good with the BSF larvae. Yeah, and then BSF can make it resources like protein and lipid, and also the fertilizers as a flash. But the dry waste like those is no good. Not only this one, but weeds also, weed plants. BSF is not quite good at processing those. But Yamada I Miru, you know this. It's kind of project again come from that Yamada I Mizu Abu project. Yeah. And this project, in this one, we use mealworm. It's a larvae of the beetles, some kind of beetles, yeah. Yamadai niduam is used for that kind of waste or resources like weed. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And in the next part, I will explain how black soldier fly flies affect growth of the plants or the crops and yield and so on. Yep. Okay, so in a previous slides, and I explained how black soldier fly larvae convert organic residues into larval biomass and flash. Yeah. So in this part, I will focus on the flash. We examine whether BSF flash can improve crop growth, crop yield, and the biological community and agriculture field. Wow. Well, I mean, in 2022, this is a bit older research, but we did it that research in the university field. And then we tested 3 application weights, 0, 2.5, and 5 tons per hectares. And BSF flash increased the number of the leaves and the SPAD values, which is an indicator of the leaf chlorophyll. Yeah, this one, yeah, SPAD. It's about increasing with an increase in the use or the dosage of the BSF flash. Leaf numbers and also the plant height. Yeah? So this is a general trend. Well, however, 5 tons per hectare did not produce a clear additional benefit compared with 2.5 tons. So this is a quite good, but no quite big increase. And this treatment compares this one, yeah, no match. So that says that is, and we recommended approximately 2.5 tons per hectares. Wow, this plant is at Dada Chamamesh. Yeah? Anyway, the usage, I mean, use of the flash is actually working as a fertilizers of the plant crops. And this is a harvest, also the same, yeah. This is 2.5 tons per hectares. That dosage is pretty good in terms of the yield. Well, I mean, this seed is increased significantly from the controls, yeah, like that. Right. This also, you see that in BSF flash and in PK. This is BSF flash, and that is a yield. And then this is NPKs, is a compulsion control. Control is no fertilizers or no BSF flash. You see that NPK, of course, that increase the yield. That BSF flow also flash also worked pretty good. Yep. So this is what we did with the Dada chamame and other plants also. Right. Well, this shows that also put abundance and diversities. Fertilizers can affect not only clubs but also other organisms in the field. So we therefore examine also put living on the plants and in the soils. BSF flash increase the overall abundance and diversity of the arthropod, like this hobbybear insect, this one, yeah. And the treatment, I think this is a bit from the right is a control and comfort, and NPK and BSF flash is the left one. First one from the left, this one, yeah. And this is a lizard and augurs summertime and Habiba insect increasing in the BSF flash. The same trend, well, not the same trend, but you see that this is quite significantly different trend in the August. So anyway, BSF flash increased the overall abundance and diversity of our support. And then that kind of responses differed among the predators, scavengers, herbivores, and other functional groups too. And this suggests that BSF flash can influence the broader, wider agricultural ecosystem, not only plant growth. And then also, this is quite interesting too, about plant damage and increase in the herbivores insect does not necessarily mean increase in the crop damage. For example, this one, yeah. Well, the herbivore insect increase in the BSF treatment, this one. In the BSF treatment, BSF flash, I mean, it's increased. This is a control. If you see compare with the control treatment, that is increasing very much herbivore insect, which is not quite good for the plant. Yeah. However, in this experiment, herbivore abundance, well, I mean, increased. However, chewing damage to the plants like this one was significantly lower in a BSF flash treatment compared with others. Yeah, like chemicals and PKs, it's a pretty highest during that crop seasons. Yeah. But BSF is kept lower, lower during that period, week 1, 2, 3, 4. And then also diseases. I mean, BSF treatment is kept lower all the times, like this. So I can say that for the disease damage, we did not detect any significant treatment effect. And also the important result in that BSF flash increased biological activity while suppressing damage caused by the chewing pest. Then we go to the soil nematode. Well, we also examined nematodes as an indicator of the soil biological communities. You see the nematode, the sizes are quite smaller, like 1 millimeter, so like that. It's still small, but plenty in the agricultural landscapes. It's affecting many things in agriculture. Anyway, the responses of that nematode differ among functional groups. So nematode have variety of type like bacterial burrs, which is feeding on the bacteria, yeah, and omnivores and fungivores eating fungus or fungi, and predators nematodes eating others, and also the herbivore nematode, which is pretty bad for the plants. And then bacterial burrs, nematodes were especially abundant under the BSF flush treatments, yeah, like this one. It's pretty much increased. In the BSF flush treatment, and NPK and the control are lower, yeah, and compost treatment is bit higher, but BSF is pretty high. And bacterial burrs, nematodes, and this is the same for omnivores and fungivores. But not for the predators and herbivores, which is bad. Is not affected by that BSF flash or the type of the fertilizers, yeah. But only bacterial burrs is affected very much, and this is most abundant group of the nematode and all and fungivores also the BSF flash are increasing or the increased the abundance of those nematode. So, wow, these visually indicate that BSF last can increase, yeah, can increase activities or the abundance, yeah, abundance of the soil organisms, especially nematode. We have variety types of the flash, and flash fertilizers can be used as the fertilizers. Well, anyway, this research makes it possible to develop many different types of the flash-based fertilizers. And above is a black soldier fly flash, and lowers, mid one flash, Yamadai Miduamu. And black soldier flies are mainly used for the wet, very wet materials such as food waste and manures, yeah. This is human excretors, yeah, like those. And this is a flash made of prison waste. Prison waste is so good. That all wet, yeah, all wet. That kind of manures, yeah? That kind of waste. That meat lump can be used for the relatively dry and plant lazy juice and weeds. Weed is quite good. Sometimes they eat very much. Yeah, because the original materials are different. Yeah, the resulting flash also differs in appearance. You see the appearance is also differs in the colors. For example, it's darker and light colors, yeah, like that. We have variety of the weeds and variety of the flash. Not only appearance but also the compositions. Everything differs also, yeah. So we have variety of the flash, and we are therefore developing both Yamadai, BSF. I mean Yamadai means of flash fertilizers and also Yamadai meal bound fertilizers. This is just an example. Well, in fact, we have 150 now. I have that flash, and this one also. Well, nearly hundreds. We have the varieties. Then this is high fertilizers. It's a one product developed from this work. It's called Haepe. Local high school student named this one, yeah. And then also the design of the labels too is made by that high school students. And then Black Soldier Fly Lobby convert food waste from local institutions into this organic flash fertilizers. Yeah, still good. And then Herbst, I mean, they use this flash for their studies through crop cultivations, yeah, and the harvested crops were then returned to the local food system. And this is an example of the circular agriculture, connecting local institutions, university and high school, and then hospital and food productions. Yeah, yeah. So this is an example of that one. Local circulations. These slides show local circulation models involving regional hospitals. Yeah, hospitals. We got waste from the hospital every week, 3 or 4 times, and we check the weight, and then they are processed using black soldier flies, and then resulting plastics used by the agriculture high school students to grow the crops and do some studies. They check that effect of the flash like that, and then harvested crops are returned to the hospital. That in Keio University institution also check the quality of that. So in this way, the waste from one local institution, hospital, becomes a resources for another activities, and in the end, again, the same hospital, they use it like this. It's so good, isn't it? So this is also the examples of hospital meat containing the crops reduced through that circulation systems. Yeah, I mean crop produced in this project and this one. Yeah, and the fertilizers was produced from the hospital waste, veggie waste, main waste, and then crop were grown by the student. This is sweet potato, and hospital use it for the rice with the potato. And this makes the resources cycle visible very much to the patients and the hospital staff and the students and the wider communities too. Yeah, and then we are also developing an open black social flight laboratory. The aim is to create a place for training, public paper trainings, yeah, and also demonstrations and collaborative experiments. At the present, this facility is being used temporarily, mainly for the manure processing work. So in near futures, maybe we hope that students, researchers, farmers, anyone, yeah, who is interested in our BSF system and can use it and then learn about the insect-based resource circulations. And it's also interesting, this one, yeah. We are supporting endangered animals, for example, okapi. You know that okapi is? Well, our research is not limited to the livestock manures. This is a made okapi at Zoo Russia. It's a pretty famous and biggest zoo in Yokohama City. Yeah. And then we have the manure of this one, yeah. And the okapi, this one, is our endangered species. And the Okapi Wildlife Reserve in the Democratic Republic of the Congos, yeah, Congos, is a UNESCO's World Heritage Site, yeah, know it? And then we are studying whether manure from the rare zoo animals can also be processed by the black soldier fly larvae, and it worked pretty good. But instead of treating the manure only as a waste, it might become a resource for education, research, and support for the endangered animals. And then this is the cultivation of the tea using rare animal manures, yeah, and not okapi manures is used for that tea plant. So the flask produced from rare animal manure can also be used for the plant cultivation, yeah. And here's a student from Indonesia, high school student. Testing is used for the tea plants. This activity is connected with our international education programs, including the Sakura Science Program. While Indonesian those high school students and African university students and former just participants now became a teacher in that high schools. Yeah, so he brought some students to our university here. and then all contributed to this work. And then project connected zoos, insect plants, and international environmental educations like that. Blah blah blah. You can see it. Yeah, and then this is also restoration of the Matsugaoka tea. Matsugaoka is a part of the Tsuruoka, some regions, Matsugaoka regions of the Tsuruoka city is pretty famous for samurai, the samurai. Well, you can check that. But anyway, in the Matsugaoka, we do some activity with the teas, yeah? And this project also connects with the history of the tea cultivation in Tsuruoka. Okay, tea plants. Well, this one is introduced 150 years ago. Yeah, it survived. Well, also it's not being used anymore, but some remains, strains it remains for a long time. And this is Ishara-san's from Sri Lanka, the institution. Yeah. So now studying about the teas. Yeah? And we are also cooperating with the local people, including Mr. Yu Saito. His ancestors is a Saito Shozo. This is the person who brought the tea strain from the Shizuoka 150 years ago. And this is that remains. Yeah. Okay. That, well, anyway, now you learn that how the BSF is the quite special, yeah, in this world. But however, black soldier fly technology has one major weakness. Many people simply think the larvae looks what? What do you think about this larvae? Yeah, this is the BSF larvae. This is the eyes, and this is a mouse. Huh? No legs. So people, I think this is look disgusting. Yeah. So even when the system is quite safe and useful and environmentally very much, appearance of this one can strongly affect public acceptance. Yeah, this is quite difficult part of my studies using that city societies. Yeah, in fact, some farmers, because farmers, they are interested in that flash fertilizers, and some farmers want to make the flash by themselves. So I tried to introduce the system to the farmers, but the family of the farmers denied it. Yeah. So you see, this is a quite serious challenge for the social implementations, actually. And I mean, limitation in the knowledge about this ones, and also, well, in Japan, especially, people dislike that kind of insect, especially maggot. Well, I think this is the same in any country. People dislike that kind of maggot. Huh? So anyway, looks pretty bad. So I tried to make it more cute, like this. And what do you think about this? Yeah. So we even tried to make the larvae look cute, but unfortunately that did not completely solve the problems. Yeah. So we need more than scientific data. Well, I mean, from the science point of view, this is so good insect, but we need more. Yeah. So we also need good communication with the societies and direct experience and education. This is what we need. I mean, we really think this is needed in a society. In the next lectures, but the time is limited, but I want to introduce some of the examples, but not this time because it's the times, yeah. So, no, we still have 10 minutes. Okay, so I can talk a bit about this one, education part. How we can make community to learn, to know more about this insect and the systems. This is education, yeah. EX, education, and variety of them. One is bird I introduced scientific and practical use of the black social flies. in the previous part, yeah, and then in this part, in the next, now we are focused on the GX education and our wider social activities. Our goal is not only to circulate organic resources, but also, yeah, we have some others. We also want to circulate knowledge, skills, and people through education and international collaborations. Yeah, for examples, right? It, our challenge is that many people initially feel, uncomfortable when they see the larvae. Yeah, many of them think, many of them think it's disgusting. So instead of avoiding reaction, we use it as a starting point for education. Yeah. So the children directly observe food waste and larvae and the process of decomposition. Yeah, we have the system for the education, and then that works so good. And they can see that food waste does not simply disappears, but also we can show some upcycling. It is transformed by the living organisms. Yeah. And this direct experience helps them understand resource circulations, ecosystems, and then sustainability is the most important part of that. Also, this is a kid, uh, years old in Indonesia, pretty famous school. Aru Azhar school. I think Indonesian people, if there are any in this class, you might know this, yeah? And then our education activities also connect to such school in different countries. And this photos, yeah, shows an online exchange between students in Japan and Indonesia. And the students can share their observations, ask questions each others, and compare waste problems in their own communities, countries. Yeah. In this way, a small insect experiment can become a platform as a kind of really platform for the international environment educations. I think, and that works pretty good until now. And then we make this certification after the activity. So we developed a hands-on program called Yamadai Mizabu Environment Education. We call it E like this. And participants receives a small amount of the food waste after the process and also the larvae if they want. And then they observe the larvae for about 2 weeks and record survivor growth and then amount of the remaining food waste. At the end of the activity, they receive a certificate summarizing their results, and then this is ranking. You can compare your research to others in other countries, and then activity is quite simple, yeah, but it encourages a scientific observation, measurement, and then also discussion that hopefully makes them interested in that food waste troubles, upcycling, circulation, like that. Well, by the way, open this to anyone, so if you want to try this one, how do I do? Yeah, just call or talk this to your friend. If you have any in our lab, luckily, please, then you can try that hopefully, yeah. And then you have that certification and real research, yeah, is what in the ranking, for example, that would be interesting. By the way, for now, I think the number one is that students from the Tokyo Hibiya high school students recorded the I think the best weight of the larvae after grown. Yeah, yeah, that's it. That program has structure on a agriculture high school, and then students so they should observe the larvae, be yourself, and separate the resulting materials. Yeah, because this is an agriculture high school, the activity can be connected to directly with the crop production and the fertilizers evaluation. And then those students therefore experience their entire process from food waste to the fertilizers, yeah, and agriculture productions. That is so good. Those are the high schools. Well, many high school, and then those students conduct similar hands-on experiments using the food, vegetable, and insect. They did not only listen to an explanation, they directly observe, measures, and compare and discuss. Discuss is a quite important part and called biological process. Yeah, this makes the activity suitable for the learners with a different backgrounds and learning styles. So not only high schools, yeah, we have also different offer this activity through the Open University, Japan's. Mm, well, many no, we do activities, and this student recorded the best. So this is from Tokyo Hibiya High Schools. I think this is one of the best high school in the Tokyo's, yeah, are conducting that kind of research by a combustion experiment in our universities, yeah. And their activities developing into a local project called Go Mitsuabu, yeah. It's quite sounds similar with our Yamadai Mitsuabu. So if the project is related to our project, I ask them to call it like that, something blah blah Mitsuabu, for example, yeah. And then we are also constructing an experimental circulation system in the Akasaka, so Tokyo areas, yeah, involving the TV company and Appa Hotel is the biggest hotel in there, yeah. But not the biggest, but quite big, in fact, just next to the high schools. And the aim is to examine the ways of food residues produced in the large cities like Tokyo can be processed and circulated locally in there. You know, we want to test that. So, not only students, but also specialists, yeah. So we are also developing our collaboration with international specialists like Samsung. So now, this gentleman is an environmental education researchers from Utah's Weber State University in Utah State, United States. And we are now in the procedure for the MOU with that university in the United States. And then we're going to have some student from there, and then we're going to send some of our student to there, so, probably in the next year. Yeah. And then, this is Stefan Dieners, yeah, from Switzerland, pretty famous, world-renowned researchers for the black soldier flight technologies. And then we are now trying to do some collaboration work with the JICA activities in Indonesia. He is quite good in kind of activity in developing countries in like Africa. But this time we're going to do that in Indonesia, hopefully, yeah. This year's, yeah, we're going to start that project. And then these collaborations combine environmental education, insect science, and practical implementations. Yeah, it's so exciting and important. Well, I think this is our end of the class. No, we still have the 2 minutes more, yeah, so I'm going to continue my talk. Probably the last slide of my class. You know that, well, I mean, the DESOs, yeah, exchange programs. And that program plays a quite important role in building that long-term international relationships. In our project also, some former exchange participants, for example, have become a teachers or researchers, and then some of them enter the master course in these universities, and then when our student Yamada University going to the Indonesians, they have the pretty good relationship communication with them in Indonesia. Yeah? So I want to develop this to other countries. Now we are having some relationship with Vietnam, then some other in Asian countries, and Africa and United States and Europe, hopefully sooner. Yeah, like that. So hope you understand something about the BSF, and then you are interested in BSF activities, experiment studies. Quite good. If you have any something, please, request anything, just ask our members or me. Yeah. Hope we see you sometime sooner in this study topic, please. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the class. Bye bye.